Alito.
Alito, to our beautiful
Copper colored people.
All praises and glory to the
Most High.
Most High.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go ahead and get into this lecture. And we know y'all haven't heard from us in a minute. We've been checking everything out, you know, just living and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Building, you know, BMXs and everything. Because I do a lot of stuff. Teach my son a lot of stuff too. Keep him working out with me. Boxing. Everything to protect himself. But we got a lecture we're going to get into. Hold the book up. Show him. It's a good book right here, y'all. And show him the back. Refugees from Slavery. Autobiographies of fugitive slaves that they're saying went into Canada. It's a pretty good book. It's got a lot of good evidence. It's got a lot of good, you know, stories in there. But, you know, the hijacks, you got to dodge them because a lot of the stuff they put in there, like the guy says he couldn't name off the names of the people. And it's like, why can't you name off the names of the people? What the heck is going on that you can't do that? So it's a whole weird scenario, y'all. You know, it's got its, you gotta, like the Most High says, chew the meat. You gotta be weaned off the milk. So I hope you guys understand what that means. This isn't for the young and, you know, young-minded. Or a lot of what Yasharala, y'all got a whole lot of problems going on, man. You know, the ones that know that this is our land, they already know. It doesn't need to be spoken. But some of y'all that, with this idiotic, reprobate minds, these reprobate minds y'all got, and one thing y'all got to remember, wide is the gate that leads to destruction. Or not, wide is the path that leads to destruction. Narrow is the gate that leads to everlasting life. So all y'all, Yasharala, with all this, that fake Israel and that desert over there, that don't make sense, y'all going into your destruction. Y'all being led to your destruction. And, you know, like it says, y'all lovers of lies, love lies. Can't see that this whole thing is a big old lie. All this stuff, monuments, artifacts of Yasharala, ancient times, is all here. Y'all focus on that little fake side of the map, the other land over there, instead of the motherland, with vegetation and everything for agriculture. And you're reading in the scriptures where it's telling you, shout out to the brother Cody Mail, who y'all call Yeshaya, or aka Jesus. They was picking corn on the Sabbath, on the Shabbat, and got into some strife with the Pharisees and all that, about that. But y'all thinking it's over there in the desert. They picking stuff over in the desert. They walking through Egypt over there in the desert.
You can't grow anything in the desert.
Nothing. No life, no nothing. Like, y'all gotta wake up, man. Like, seriously. Y'all with these reprobate minds and stiff-necked people don't want to listen. Wide is the path that leads to destruction. And all y'all that think y'all got it and know it all, Yasharala, y'all headed straight into the path of destruction. Got these cats leading you off the land and all this other stuff. They doing the same thing like Garvey. Leading the people over there. And that's why some of them is looking like us. From past years and years ago of us going over there with the colonizing them over there. Now we done created a freaking time bomb. We done created our own destruction. We got cats that look, some of them look similar to us. That's over there in some of them continents. Even though we've been doing this back and forth, now it becomes a problem because we're in some terrible times. But also we know that you guys don't understand the laws is changing right before our eyes. Back then when I was in school, they used to play games like called grab butt and all that stuff. Smack females in the butt, females smack us in the butt and all this stuff. And run up and kiss person. Nowadays, you try that in school, what they gonna do to you?
Take you out or write you up or something.
Expel you. A crime. They had one kid that was like 8 years old out here in Houston that was looking at a sexual offense. They was gonna try to charge him with a crime for kissing a girl at school, and she didn't want to be kissed. You know, so the laws is now it's sensitive. Everything's sensitive. And that's why we got to be careful. And you know these laws, and you know the Most High's laws, and these laws, they all work together. Then you can make it through. But if not, you get caught in the system. But there's a way out. The Most High's always made a way out. There's a way out. You're always going to be able to get out of the system. Out of the whatever type of tie-up you get with the law. The laws that you're bound by, the laws you should be loosed by. So go ahead, read in there.
So,
who is this by?
Christopher Hamilton. I was raised in St. Louis, Mo. I went to school a little.
St. Louis what?
Mo.
What does Mo stand for?
Mountain?
No. Do you guys hear this guy? St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh.
Come on, man.
I went to school a little, to a Sunday school, and learned to read.
Repeat it again. All the way back. I want you to read that how it's supposed to have been read.
Okay. I was raised in St. Louis, Missouri. I went to school a little, to a Sunday school, and learned to read, but was stopped. I suppose because I was learning too fast. My people came from Virginia.
These people came from where?
Virginia.
These people came from Virginia. Go ahead.
They were all free by right.
They were what?
Free by right.
They were all free by right. This is a so-called fugitive slave. Or what we'll find out, servitude.
My grandmother was an Indian woman.
His grandmother was a what?
Indian woman.
Read that again.
My grandmother was an Indian woman.
Okay.
She put my mother with a man by the name of E.G. to bring up. He moved to Kentucky, stopped a little while, then went to Missouri. Thence to Jackson, Missouri. While they were moving out, on their way to Kentucky, I was born on board a boat in Pittsburgh. After we reached Jackson, my father, my mother, and all their sons and daughters, except myself, and a sister who had 2 children, were sent to mine Oberden, lead mines. They moved there with Dr. G, who kept them all slaves, all for slaves.
Kept them all for slaves? Okay.
After he stopped there a while, he sold them to a man named S.P. My sister had her 2 children and myself were sold by W.G., to whom the doctor had given us for debit.
For what?
Debt.
For debt. So the doctor did what?
Gave them up for debt.
So these guys are going through these debts. If you were in trouble, this is how a lot of us got led into. I can't say a lot of us. I only found one person. Period. But this is how some of the people was getting led into slavery. Through debt. Family debt and all that. Go ahead.
Up for debt to a man in St. Louis, W.G. was in debt to a man named H. And
wait,
H.
so he's in debt now? So one guy catches the debt, the doctor. He slangs off this family. Another guy gets in debt, slangs him off. Go ahead.
Was in debt to a man named H. And H was in debt to a French man named B.
Man, so you got debt going on after debt, going on after debt. Changing hands. Everybody's changing hands. Here, you take, okay, let me pay this off. You take them. The family start out in debt somehow, which they shouldn't have, but playing around with the pale faces got in debt. Playing around this corporation that they built up. Slang them off. Another one slang them off. The other one got to slang them off. Even these cats was in debt. Go ahead.
We slipped along from one to another to pay debts.
To pay debts. They slipped what? Read that again.
We slipped along from one to another to pay debts.
They slipped along from one to another to pay debts. Read that again. I don't think they even heard you.
We slip along from one to another to pay debts.
Go ahead.
With B, I remained from 10 years old till I left from the north. I ran kind letters to B, but got no reply.
He wrote what?
Letters to B, but got no reply.
What was his age?
10 years old.
And they were saying that the slaves couldn't do what?
Read or write.
And he's doing what?
Writing. The people who were sold to SP all were finally removed with him to St. Louis, except one who died in the South. I look on slavery as the greatest evil that ever existed. The preaching I used to hear was servants.
Servants was what? The preaching he used to hear was what?
Servants.
Read it again.
The preaching I used to hear was servants.
Read it again. They can't hear you.
The preaching I used to hear was servants.
The preaching he used to hear was servants. The scripture talks about this, right? Servants, obey your masters. This wasn't meant for y'all, Yasharala, because you fell and went against the laws. Then it didn't work in your favor. But it shall. Read.
I used to hear with servants. Be obedient to your master. He that knoweth his master will and doubteth it not, shall be beaten with many stripes. I was well used by my master and well treated. Until he
was what?
Well treated.
Well treated by his master and well used. And you see how they were using scriptures? They were using cherry picking. Wasn't going and precepts wasn't used. None of that. They just cherry picked. Well, here. Go ahead.
Until he married a second time. He married a very mean woman.
He married a what?
A very mean woman.
Okay.
He was a very wealthy man, and she married him. It raised her right up. Nothing could please her. I had been married 2 years, and she tried to persuade her husband to sell my wife down the river. She wanted to.
He had been married how long?
2 years.
So he had been married 2 years. And then what happened?
She tried to persuade her husband to sell his wife.
Okay. Read.
She wanted to whip my wife, and my wife wouldn't let her.
She wanted to do what?
Whip his wife, and his wife wouldn't let her.
His wife, American Indian, a.k.a. Negro, wouldn't let this Caucasian woman whip her. How is this possible? Thought they were saying y'all had to lay down and get beaten and whipped and if you didn't obey your masters, what they were saying right there, you were in trouble. Mm-hmm. Servants, obey your masters. Right? Servants, and obey your employer. Isn't that what's going on today? Employers. Employees. Obey your employers and your contract. You have to fulfill this. That's what your application is, your job application, a contract. Saying, can you lift anywhere from 20 to 100 pounds? All this stuff they're asking, and you check off, yeah, you got to do that. Servants, obey your masters. Employees, obey your employers. See, Yasharala, y'all been out of pocket. And especially the ones teaching over about that. This is like, it's nerve-wracking to me. And it's irritation. It's like exposed nerve, and it just hurts. Like, to see you guys misleading the people and teaching them that little desert over there is their land. And that those people in the other land is their people. And these are the part of the tribes. when everything is here and beautiful. Right? But you guys got this, what do they call it?
What?
To where it talks about in the scriptures, you know, someone received the mark of the beast.
Oh, mm-hmm.
You guys inherited these lies, and you received the mark of the beast. And it's in your mind. And that's why it says you have a reprobate mind. Reprobate mind. Your mind is altered, and you're thinking and believing everything that the colonizers have told you. You haven't researched anything yourself or dug. You just took it for face value. It's a bad thing. Read.
I did not wait to see whether he would sell her or not, but we came away, got off very comfortably.
They got off what?
Very comfortably.
They got off very comfortably, y'all. Hold on, but we're talking about servitude, not slavery. These guys weren't using the word slavery. It's for the Slavics. Right? Go ahead.
I had only $16.
Wait, what? He had what?
$16.
Wait, hold on. This is slavery going on. I thought they're supposed to be broke.
Nope, they were making money.
I thought they were just doing it for free out there.
Nope.
So you mean they were doing like a company that, like Daddy's old company when I worked on the West Coast, and they went bankruptcy and they had to sell the company to somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
That's what these doctors and stuff were doing with the debt? Selling their businesses of servitude?
Yep.
What? Hold on. Say that again. How much money you have?
$16.
So yeah, he came off comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they was sitting fat. like they say, you sitting fat in Texas, man. Go ahead.
When I got here, I found a brother of mine here. He helped me about...
A brother of his there?
Mm-hmm. He helped me about getting work.
He helped him about getting work. Go ahead.
And I make out to live comfortably.
Man, so he just living it up non-stop.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't go back for all St. Louis, poor as I am. They have no feelings for their colored people. Anyhow, all they care...
For their what?
Colored people.
They have no feelings for their colored people.
Anyhow, all they care for is to get all the work out of them they can. They whip them to death, starve them to death, and I saw one colored man burned to death. McIntosh, who had killed a man. I used to go to Sunday school in St. Louis, to Mr. Lovejoy, the man who was killed. The colored people in London are generally saving. They do not waste their means. They are getting along as well as they can accept.
They do not waste their means. They ain't out here just splurging and blowing money like we doing today. Y'all can learn something from the past. Go ahead.
They are getting along as well as they can accept.
Who is getting along?
The colored people.
So they're getting along there, but back then, they're back in the southern states, they're not getting along. Wait, hold on. What, like this is like continued Indian wars? These cats just don't get along, and all this mixing and mingling them up, and got them swapping in different tribes, and okay, go ahead. That's why they wouldn't get along.
They can accept they are getting along as well as they can accept as a general thing. I do not know of one who suffers so much here as he would in slavery. There are some...
Or servitude.
Yeah, servitude. There are some who are vicious and dissolute, and so there are of all nations. Take them in general.
They're of all nations. You guys hear this? All nations, different, Shata, Anyuanya, all these different nations. There are many nations. Go ahead.
Take them in general.
Not one. Not one nation. Not just these people they telling you, oh, they're all West Africans. These are many nations.
Mm-hmm.
The things that you guys got to pay attention to with these words and trickeries and language barriers and things that they splice and put together and mix and mingle and, you know, that keeps you lost. Go ahead.
And they are getting along first rate.
And they are getting along first rate. Now we're going to go to something. Since you guys have no idea and you can't put, like Brother Dan Calloway said, 1 plus 1 is what?
1.
1 plus 1 is what?
1.
1 plus 1 is what?
1 person.
How could one person plus another person be 1?
Because they have...
What did you read about Dan Calloway? It's not 1 person plus 1 person. What is it? 1 plus 1
equals 1.
No. 1 plus 1 equals 3.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, dude. What's up, man? What's up with you, man?
It's been a while.
Yeah, but still, that's common knowledge. They teach you in school 1 plus 1 is 2, and you say 1 plus 1 is 1, and then you learn that it's all due to nature. 1 man, 1 woman equals a child. It's an addition. An addition is added.
Oh.
This is something I had you do research on. You're going to have to do your homework a lot more. He likes to be on that Fortnite a lot, guys, so... In between there, he's doing his research, but he's not really. I think he's just trying to hurry up and get into the schemes of, you know, how they set up these barriers for our people and got them stumbling. Even him, knowing who he is, stumbles and, you know, it's a system. It's a satanic, wicked system that we're in, where everything is backwards and everything is put backwards. So then we're going to go into this right here. I want you to read that.
Who invented scalloping? Oh, setting the record straight about native people scalloping.
Scalping.
Scalping.
See, he's been out of school too, y'all. So just his reading is horrific. Read that again.
Setting the record straight about native people scalping. They're both right. Scalping, cutting off the scalp of a dead enemy as proof of his demise, was common practice throughout North America before colonists got here.
So this was a practice, but this is the question that's at hand that they're trying to figure out. Who invented scalping? Right? This is what they're trying to figure out. Who invented this? Because they're saying that it was practiced in Europe and everything, but they were saying that, no, they weren't really doing that. There's no signs of them that were taking people's heads and stuff. They were taking the heads completely off, decapitating, but not scalping. So they're trying to figure out, like, who invented this? And then you go to other sites and it was sent, you know, I think it was PBS or one of the sites where I was reading, and they were going back and forth. They were saying they didn't know, and a lot of the natives were saying they didn't know, you know. Of course, they didn't know. And then the colonizers were saying they didn't know because it's not common over there, so-called Europa, so-called Copper Queen is the name for that. Europa, they say mythological, like Khalifa. You know, they give you these mythological things with us when it comes to these people that are of color, the copper color people, the original people. Then it becomes myths. But their myths, you guys have taken and turned them into facts and ways of life, like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and this so-called Jesus character that hasn't came and saved anybody yet. And y'all still going to be waiting. We know the Most High is going to deliver his people. You wouldn't have none of this stuff if it wasn't for the Most High, and that's just being honest. We'd still be the same people running around with these same dumb ideologies and stuff like that. But something has happened that's awakened us. And you see things, and now you're able to see them. Not just see and read like we were doing and not even putting 2 and 2 together. Now we're able to see. Like in the Avatar movie, I see you. And we're able to see the people for who they are. What do you think? You don't see all these mass shootings and stuff going on? Just one down here in Texas, in El Paso. 20 dead. Then another one, Dayton, Ohio. Or Ohio, somewhere in Ohio. Who are these people that got everybody convinced that they're the good ones, and all these illegal immigrants and everybody else is the bad ones? Even us is the bad ones, but they're not trying to deport us because they can't. We're in our own land. But they can deport everybody else out but themselves. But like I told y'all, the laws are getting real sensitive. And we were watching the news this morning on one of their little panels discussing this with the senators and stuff. And they were saying, well, Trump was talking about this isn't a big problem. It's just a little white nationalist groups. But they're doing worse than any gang member or anybody could do. They're doing the same thing like the terrorists in other countries. They're killing 20, 30, 40, and 50 people at a time. And they got y'all convinced that they're not the terrorists, which are reprobate minds. These are the good ones. These are the glamour boys. These are the good old boys. Everybody else is the threats. No, everybody else is a threat because we're a threat to the system that's burning, going down. Right? So go ahead and read it.
It is described in Indian oral histories and preserved scalps were throughout found at archaeological sites. Archaeological sites. Colonists learned to scalp enemies from the Indians. The European custom was to
from the Indians, not the Native Americans. The Indians. Read that again. Colonists learned how to what?
Scalp enemies from the Indians.
The Indians, not Native Americans. The Indians. So hold that right there. We're going to go into this. This is where you guys get this peel someone's cap. For those who don't know, we used to say this word in our raps, everyday lingo. You know, this is street lingo. Raps is just a mirror of what's going on in the street, these rappers. They're just talking about what we've been living in the streets. Us, the ones that have been out there banging and slanging and doing all this. They're reporters. So when you get this peel someone's cap, then you got Too Short back in the 80s talking about the task force trying to peel your cap. Got Eazy-E, next time I'm peeling your cap. Ice-T, let's peel their caps back. What is that? What is that?
Scalping.
Y'all hear what he said? I'm asking y'all out there, what is that? Peeling caps, scalping like he said. Twist your wig, split his wig splitters. How does this not make sense? I'm puzzled and boggled by this, that you guys don't understand this. It's right before you. All the evidence and everything is right before you. And then I see all these cats posting pictures of the Americas, Yasharala now, posting pictures of the Americas, how beautiful it is, but still claiming the other land is their land. That's their motherland. Why ain't you posting pictures of the desert over there? Why ain't you posting all that stuff over there? That's crazy to me. Y'all posting like, look at these beautiful waterfalls with your family. And I'm looking like, look, he's glamorizing his own land and don't even know it. Yeah, when we get back to our land over there, man, the Most High said we ain't gonna worry or nothing. That's happening here. Your own land. Cultivate your own land. Plenish your own land. Be fruitful on your own land. Right? But because you guys got these reprobate minds and your thinking is off, you didn't even understand what was going on. You didn't understand that you were being lost on your own land. When it tells you you're lost in the wilderness, it's mental. All throughout the scriptures, it's telling you everything is mental. With your reprobate minds. The mark of the beast in your mind. You taking it. You've been on a mental hijack. You went over to a whole nother continent that don't even make sense to you. You know? And when I first came into this truth, 10, 15 years ago, you know, it's like 10, 11 years ago, you know, I always used to look at that land like, man, that land, like doing research and looking at it like, there's nothing over there, man. Like, what the heck? Like, and then once all this truth started coming, and sisters like Israel Redemption, and, you know, that was really the first one that really just started, besides, you know, watching Tom Horn, Steve Quayle, and all these guys, you know, where they was on the path to the Nephilim and all this stuff. And I was into all that, and not even worried about who I was, but I was still like, man, it's like, there's a whole lot of stuff going on over here in America. It's like giant bones and mounds and stuff, like serpent pyramids, like nothing that's over there. The caduceus, you know, the serpent, which Moses lifted up, the serpent to the people. It's a medical term, what they using today, right in front of you. Venom can kill you or heal you. Right? Mm-hmm. Serpent's not just no bad thing. But they had everybody just hijacked, minds gone and everything. Oh boy, the serpent. Them people, yeah, that's just, and this and that, all these snakes, and had you fearing nature and everything. Tying it to a people. Come on, man. Y'all got to get with it, man. Wake up. Yasharallah, so-called Israelites, wake up. This is your land. And shout out to the brothers Big Judah. What's the brother? The brother Gad. You know, that's trying to show y'all. Trying to show Yasharallah the truth. And hey is over here. Hayah, Hawa. All that. That's the Most High is the strong arm. The Most High is your breath. Hayah. When you do punches and stuff. Show you that in karate. Hayah, hayah, hayah. Hawa, 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 hawa. Right? Yeah. You hear it all in the rap? Yeah. Like, y'all ain't waking up, understanding this? The Most High is a masculine energy. And Mother Earth, which the scriptures tell you, is the mother. We understand and know this. The mother that brings everything to life, fruitful, over here. Agriculture, over here. And they went down. She opened up her womb. You guys remember that? When Moses and his brother Aaron and was going through it with the other Yasharallah, he told them to draw a line, and they went down. The earth opened up her womb, and they went down into Sheol alive. Right? Went down into Mother Earth's what? Her womb. Female has a womb. And then they went into where? Into the bottom of her body. Where a woman does what? Has once a month. She has a cycle going on. The earth has a cycle going on. You go down there, that is for waste. You go down into her, you're going into the waste. Where everything is, they say it smells, putrid smells. People tell you these stories of hollering, torment. It's like a woman's, her vagina area. Down in there where she's having her once a month cycle. Mother Earth does it too. And you go down in there. So, y'all need to wake up, especially Yasharallah. Y'all done got so stuck on these doctrines and lovers of lies, you can't even pull yourself out of it. But you got to work out your own salvation. Work out your own salvation, saving you and the others, so you don't go to the wide path the wide path of thoughts that you've been taught, of all this fake foolery, and that other land's your motherland, and all this other stuff. Because you're going to lead yourself into destruction. And you will be destroyed. Just as you all are being destroyed right now through your blackness, your black conscience. It's nothing to do with the color. That's why a lot of our people have been doing this intermingling and stuff. You know why? You guys got this black mark on you. This status that's on you, and people don't want it. This is why you see all this intermixing and stuff with our kids and everything. They don't want that stigma that's behind being black, which is a label, because it brings destruction, rap music, gangsters, thoughts, all these bywords and stuff. They don't want to have that attached to them. So they're trying to attach themselves to what has been brought to them. White is light, beautiful. So they're trying to attach to that and get off of this. So y'all got some cleaning up to do. Majority of y'all on that wide path of destruction. There's only a few of us that know that this is the land. But it's a whole slew of y'all that are on the path of destruction, that are all on this wide open door kick. Even all of y'all that's talking about it, y'all still gonna die here. All of y'all. Y'all still gonna be waiting on Yeshaya or Yahweh Shai, however you want to say the name. Y'all still gonna be waiting, and y'all still gonna be dying right here. And y'all gonna teach it to the next generation, they gonna be dying right here, talking about they waiting. This is Babylon. Babylon is a system. Nothing to do with a land. It's a system of people that come. But on that note, we're gonna say Shalom. Shalom.
Yep.
Peace.
Power.
And power to the people.
Rise up. Tribe up. And then wise up.
Nope.
Or no.
Wise up.
Yeah. Tribe up.
Tribe up. And then we all can rise up. You can hit that power button, bruh. Go ahead, Lil Savage. Is that what they call you?
DZ.
Yeah, hit it and let them know we out.
We out.
Outie.